Greetings, Jackson Middle School students. If you're watching this, it's because you are about to make your Dia de los Muertos paper mache mask. Now, as we stated before, we're going to do an embedding type of paper mache style. So, basically, you're going to be making this. So, before we can get started on even putting paper mache onto this, we need to make this internal structure right here, this form, okay? You're gonna get that by, first off, getting a stencil, okay? We're gonna have these over by Darth Vader, and you're also going to need a piece of cardstock. This is some thick, it looks like computer paper, but it's a little bit thicker, okay? It's a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger as well, if you look at that. So, first off, we need to cut out our stencil. So, this stencil is going to get used twice. It's going to be a mirror image. Now, first thing we're going to do, keep it simple and cut around the perimeter of it. Making sure we're right on the line. Again, craftsmanship. Okay, we're right there. This line right here needs a notch cut into it, all the way up to that spot. Okay, that's important. You'll see why here in a minute. I'm going to continue on down the line. Okay, same thing right here. That gets a notch cut into it right there. Okay, there's also a solid line right there, but we don't need to notch that because we're just cutting right up the middle on that dotted line as well. So let's go down here, start cutting along this line around her. Cool. Now, first option, the nose. You can cut it out. If you do, you get a cute little nasal cavity like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. If you don't want that nasal cavity, let's say like you're doing an Iron Man mask or something, you don't need to do this. Oh, let's make sure we get all that extra white stuff off there. We don't want a small nose. There we go. Next up, we got a hole right here, or an eye right here. This we can choose to put an eye there, or we could leave it out. So if you want an eye hole, we're gonna fold that in half, take a nip out of it, and cut that out. Done. Okay, so this needs to get placed onto your cardstock. Okay, here's my cardstock. All of this stuff gets trashed. On this cardstock, we're going to trace this stencil twice. Okay, now when you trace this, the stencil is just big enough to barely fit on here. We got it as big as we could. So you need to make sure and put this stencil, see how it's touching the edge right here? You want that. I would even make it touch the edge up on the top as well. You'll see why we want that in a second. So, we're gonna take my pencil and we're gonna trace this line right here. Okay, so I got a mark right there, mark right there. Now I'm going to do is lift this off. There's one stencil tracing. Now we're going to place it over here, and we're going to just barely squeeze it in over here as well. Looks like it's almost a little bit too small. We'll make it work. So, I'm going to trace it along here. All right, so there's my mask. Now, we need to cut this out. This stencil we're done with. So, let us begin the cutting. Okay, we need that line. We cut that line. We need to cut on that line. We need to cut right down the middle, so maybe about there. You cut that line, and that one's already cut. Now, you also need to cut out the eyes and the nose. Now, if you're not doing the eyes and nose, don't worry about this. But if you are, how are we going to get to that? Well, same thing, we did that. We're going to kind of crease this in half. We're not going to fold it, we're just going to hold it just enough to get a slit cut into it. Sneak your scissors in there and cut out that eye structure. There we go. Now, next thing. We're going to hang on to that because we could still make that into stuff. This is our mask right here, okay? But now we need to start making it into a form. So you're going to take your mask to the back of the room, and then you are going to, those lines, those cuts there, you're going to push them over each other. See how they overlap like that? You're going to hold it like that with one hand, and with the stapler, you might need a friend to help you. Staple them together like that. You hold the mask like this, put it underneath the stapler, and all your friends got to do is just whoop. Oh yeah, one-man army. One more, boom, done. So, you can see how it's made our mask into kind of a bowl form, and that's what we're trying to do. Now, before you are done, there's one more super important thing you have to do. So, I'm going to do this in Sharpie. Because here's what happens. You're going to come in one day and there's not going to be a mask with your name on it because you didn't put your name on it. So someone else is going to claim your mask. It happens every year. Don't become a victim. Okay, so you're going to put your name. Mason. Okay, you see how this person, Sophia Sides, third hour, Miss Brown's her advisory teacher, she went through and she had to write this back over, okay? So remember what I said, sometimes these get covered up. So give yourself a backup. Now, this is what you can do at the bare minimum, okay? This is pretty much ready to mache. But let's say you want something cool on there. Let's say you want a nose. Well, that extra scrap paper, I'm gonna make a nose out of that. Let's see. I'm gonna cut a little square. Yes. And then I'm gonna cut a slit going down one angle to the other angle. Overlap them. Oh, look, it's now kind of a form-looking thing. I'm just gonna boop, boom. Okay, maybe I could kind of flatten this out a bit. That's pretty good. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that looks kind of like a nose. So, I can either glue this on or I could staple it on. We're not using tape. Tape's for cheaters. So, how can we staple this? I think the answer for this is to glue it. A little dot of glue there, a little dot of glue there. Remember, the less glue you put on it, the faster it will dry. There we go. Sticking pretty good. So, that's ready to go. Maybe you want like a unicorn horn coming out of the front of your forehead, because why not? So, let's see. Oh, my nose fell off. Oh dear. There we go. Again, leave the staples in the back of the room so everyone can use them. I only got 4 of them. Okay? That is how the mask wants to sit. That is how you should always store it, with the face down. Okay? Even when we're drying with paper mache, always store it face down. So, that's how you start off your mask. Again, if you want extra details, feel free to, but you're limited to just 1 paper. So you only got that little section to kind of add stuff to it. So be really picky about what you stick on here, okay? Don't just get a bunch of stuff and just slap it on there. Be picky. good luck, have fun, be creative. Remember, we're doing our Dia de los Muertos masks, so have some fun.